Hello and welcome. We are going to take a tour of the Smurfs village of Motiongate in Dubai, of Dubai Parks and Resorts. There's multiple theme parks in these lands, and this Motiongate Park is split into 4 or 5 different zones, and this zone is obviously going to be the Smurfs village. So everything is completely themed for the Smurfs from the films and the cartoons, I do believe, as well. So if anything that you spot that you can remember from your childhood or what you've just seen recently, please do let me know in the comments below. I was never really a Smurfs fan, to be honest, so again, I'm sort of walking around blind, but it was all good fun. Lots of the bits and pieces were actually closed due to COVID. So you had the Smurfs factory there that was not open, but it had the big barrier and like the A ball in front of it. And then you had the Village Express. I do believe that looked like that was closed as well. On the right hand side, which you will take a better look at when we sort of do a big horseshoe shape round, that's all the restaurants and things, and there was some large play areas around this way. Now the larger play areas are perfect for obviously small children, so the Smurf village itself is meant for the younger ones because it's sort of smack in between two of the bigger bits as well, because it is in between DreamWorks, which is obviously much bigger rides and much quicker rides. That's to the left, and then to the right hand side you have Columbia Pictures, which is available in different videos as well, and that's much more of a heavy theme park. So if you actually walk straight through this land, it will take you into the second section. Now this land also does include smaller rides as well. That is one of them. Now, I do end up getting on that roller coaster because the bit that we just walked past, which is the Village Express, the entrance to this is on the other side, and it's what I thought was shut is actually the exit to the ride. So I thought, oh, nothing's actually going to be open. And as I walk around and get to the bottom, something else is closed. And then there's a guy just stood by the queue line. And then obviously you see the people on the ride. So it was very much a case of, depending on which way you came in to the Smurfs village, because obviously you can use this as a walkthrough, will very much depend on if you see the exits first or the entrances first. So don't let it confuse you. It'll just be a case you just have to get your teeth sunk into it and try and hunt it all down. But the ride itself was okay. Had a little bit of pace to it, and you can hear, even though I've turned it down, there was some couple of screams in the background. But you do a double loop on this one, which is pretty cool. So it adds sort of to the length of the ride slightly. Otherwise, if they just did a single loop, it would have been really short. But like you can hear in the background, plenty of screams, lots of people having fun. This was the only small coaster within this sort of land, because like I said, it is meant for sort of younger ones. It's more of a family area, to be honest, even though it take away all the colours and the actual theming, but the actual rides themselves are very meant for sort of more of a family bit, because just how you can just plonk the children in the play areas, like you can see there's plenty of benches, lots of restaurants to sit down and have a bite to eat. But you can see where I am walking around to now, this is all part of the track, and I'm not too sure if we head straight down the queue line now, or if we come back to it, because I was still trying to struggle to find it. No, we are actually now in the queue line, which is good. So the queue line itself is obviously lovely and themed, as you can see. And like I say in all videos, queue is also absolutely enormous. So like everything for the time that I was here, it was all complete walk-on, which is absolutely fantastic. So I just got on everything, got off and carried on. It made the days a bit bizarre, but you had done everything in about 5 minutes. But yeah, it was nice. It was actually nice to hear some sort of screams on the coasters, and you can actually see what they're like, because in other videos it's been a bit of a struggle to actually show what it's like. But you can see how well the animatronics are working, how clean it all is, and the clouds behind, that is from the different section, that's from DreamWorks as well. But they just had the smaller area of the queue on and round, so we just looped it round as a short loop. But you will see when I get back out, which is going to click off in any second now, that we actually end up right by the exit. Sorry, we come out the exit, which looks like it should have been the entrance, and it was closed. So the bit that I said, well, I thought that was closed, like I said before, that is actually the exit to this ride, which again is heavily themed. So it does make a massive difference depending on which way you come. But going back to the play areas and things, there is a big outdoor play area that you've seen, and we will get in a second to the indoor play area. And again, that is completely shut and closed off. So even though this area is meant for families and lots of children to do lots of different things, you couldn't do anything because of their COVID regulations. They just shut all those areas off just for safety. And if you'd seen any of the other videos, all their sort of play areas were completely closed. But this one is the main land, I would say, with regards to sort of dumping off your little uns, being able to grab a bite to eat and just get some lunch, then you can just carry on and attack it and carry on with your rest of your day, because just where it is so close and how it sort of horseshoes through into the next area, it's quite a handy little cut through as well. So we will now carry on and explore. On the right, that is your big outdoor play area, because I was unsure if that was open or not, so that's why I was panning through and back down and back up. But that's the woodland play park, and then as we cut back through, you can clearly see that there's actually nobody on it, but we will see the closed sign and the reasons due to COVID when we cut back through a slightly different way. But have you been before? Have you been when this was all fully operational? Does it feel like a different atmosphere from when you've been? Obviously, minus my voice and the fact that I've turned everything down. So we are walking back down to this corner because there is another ride. Well, supposed to be another ride just here. I think it's the Playhouse. That again, that's completely shut off. I'm not too sure if that was just closed due to COVID or if that was just because it runs on a set time schedule, but the doors were just shut. So that there's no timing on the wall or anything. So I would imagine that would have just been completely closed, either because it was so quiet or due to COVID. And then the bit to the left hand side, that would have been the exit to it. So if that was like a little shop or anything, that was also closed. And then we come into the next area. I know a lot of things are closed, but there is a lot here, so there is a lot of stuff open as well. We come in, and I do believe it'd be the movie tour that we're about to have a look at. So that again, complete walk on. We will film the queue line. We'll go down just to the left hand side. So yep, there it is, the Smurf studio tour. So this ride is literally, you sit on a ride and it's a load of animatronics and a massive sort of warehouse feel, and you just go around and you just sort of take part from start to finish, applying for a movie. It's a bit bizarre, only because it's quite bright. So whereas usually if you've been on any of these indoor attractions before, it's sort of the lights ping on top of them. Prime example would be the 4K video from Billund for the pirate ride. So when you're sat on the water, each attraction would then light up and then turn back off again. Whereas with this one, you can just kind of see everything all at once, and then you just get to the next bit and the next animatronics sort of kicks on. But again, queue line length is absolutely terrifying. I have no idea how far back that does go, but it was super short and super sweet for me to get on. But like I did say, that's now the end of the ride. I did say that if you would like to see this ride, I would upload it in a completely separate video. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when it comes, so just let me know if you'd like to see it. And then we actually do exit the first shop. So we just come through, and again, about 90% of the bits and pieces in here is all Smurf related bits and bobs. And then they'll have one or two smaller bits for the Motiongate things as well, just like they have in video number 1, where we did the horseshoe shape of what's to come. But yeah, if you are a Smurfs fan, this definitely would be the place where you get all your memorabilia and all those bits and pieces for. But like I said, I've got no attachment to this whatsoever, so sort of experiencing this for the first time and going in blind, didn't do any research or anything like that. Just wanted to see what it all looked like. So with regards to what's about to come next, we'll come out here, then we'll turn left. We'll just walk in a straight line. That will then take us through to where the next land will start, and then we just spin it back round and we'll horseshoe back up again. So they have put a lot of rides and a lot of attractions in quite a small square footage. And I would probably say that this does have something for everybody, like I said, as regards to a family outing. Whereas a lot of the other places, it would be very much a case of if you had a younger one, they just wouldn't be able to get on anything. Everything would just be a little bit too quick, or they'd be a little bit too small, or certain areas don't have the play areas where the little ones can just sort of be running around, where the older one could just go on the ride and then come back again. Whereas this one just keeps it a bit nice and easy. So we have just come back out, and then we'll have to walk past the entrance again. So the entrance again is to the left because of how you do that horseshoe shape, and then you can see all the bright colours on the left hand side, which we're going to walk down. Again, some of these were closed, so I don't know what should have been in the one on the left, and it looks huge, but that could potentially still be the queue line, and they might just open that up when it gets a little bit hotter. But I can't imagine the queue. I know the queue did look long, but I can't imagine the queue coming this far back. But again, if you've been here in the peak season, does even half the queue length get used? Now, what I did like, is not speaking about the rides, it's just how pretty the flowers and everything were. Now, bearing in mind where it is and how hot it is there and how hard it is to keep the irrigation and everything that they've got there with like all the self-watering stuff, it's very, very impressive. And they had crews working all the time. If you can see, all the seats have shading, which I think a lot of parks need to take that into consideration, with different parks dotted around sort of the UK, especially, where they might just be able to have one of those pop-up bits so you can sit down in the heat of summer, because it's all well and good having the benches, but if you've got no shade or anything, nobody ever sits on them. But they had all the shade over there in the key areas. This is the indoor bit, which completely shut. I've seen one or two pictures online, and it just looks like it's just like a big area where the really, really small ones can sort of just crawl around and run around. They've got like ball pits and bits and pieces in there, I do believe. And then as we keep walking in a straight line, that literally is the next land. So where I am now, I'm on the line because that's the ice cream bit, and it all links nicely. The floor's all exactly the same. So if I carried on going, you would have ended up at the big water ride. So we'll spin back around and we'll come back down and we'll take a good look at all the bits and pieces on the left-hand side. So again, you've got your toilet block in here. And then you have these little sort of pop-up shops where they'll do the ice cream and nibbles and things like that. They have a few of those within this and the land next door because they have plenty of seating and benches. Because if you remember, I said for the Hunger Games, there wasn't really that many places to eat, but obviously this is one of the key places to come. So we're now going to go a different way on the way back, just to keep it nice and spicy. Loads of seats, and again, it's another big eating area. Plenty of shade if you want to sit in the shade, and they've got bits and pieces open in the sunshine as well, which is really nice. So all of these seats are obviously for you to sit down, grab a bite to eat and drink for the play area, but again, the play area is just completely closed. So it's just their protocol. It's just to do with COVID, nothing else. It's not like it was not safe or anything with regards to the actual ride. It's just their rules and regulations for COVID. So hopefully that'll be back open when they change. So this one is the calf, and then we've got to keep our eyeballs peeled for what the next one says, because this is a huge thing on the left-hand side, but there is multiple entrances on the left. So even though it looks like it's one big thing, I don't know if they're slightly split on the inside, or you can just sort of walk through the calf and then into the restaurant bit. And I think there might be a bit of ice cream as well. So I'm not too sure if I double back because I missed something. So that is the same artwork, but it says it's another calf, but the mushroom on top has changed colour. Yeah, there we go. So that was a smooth edit because the battery died. So come back round, and then this is another very Smurfy calf. And then again on the right hand side you had a bit that was closed, but you can see how well they've got all the seating. So this is now just completely out the way, but again there's another toilet block there as well, so you've got toilets on either entrances to the Smurf village, and they were the easiest toilets I could find. So again, that's just something to remember if you're walking past the Smurf village and you're coming here, you know where you can nip to the toilet. But guys, I want to wrap that up now because the video is about to end. But if you could like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.